hands of the thing. So they said this revolution won't be done with VCRs. Now this is one of the keys. So keep your VCRs. So the first thing happening is niggas saying they're getting rid of their damn VCRs. I don't own a VCR. Motherfucker, the DVD just came in 2-3 years ago. You know, the crackers had them in 97, but you just got them. And you already getting your shit. That's just like in 1990, they discontinued albums. Niggas got rid of their turntables. Yeah. Now the fucking Techniques, 3,000 is almost $600. You see what I'm saying? And the little turntables you get now is a close and play. Niggas get rid of it. Go to the pawn shop and buy them turntables. Shit, I'm getting to what I'm talking about. I got a damn $80 needle, and I can hear the motherfuckers coughing in the background while they're making the goddamn songs. See what I'm saying? While they're playing the guitar. You see what I'm saying? You know, and stuff like that. I go to another level with this shit. Now, this is the great mystery. How they get ready to fuck you up. You remember John Henry Clark said them damn Japanese when they dropped them 2 bombs on them? They didn't get out there and show off and run their fucking mouth. They sat down, they did what they had to do. They didn't run their mouth. You laughed at the little wookie 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 people. They're walking around with the transistor radios. Next thing you know, they're running shit. Although the white man gave them the technology, it don't matter. They didn't run their fucking mouth and show off with all the shit. I'm this and I'm that. They did what they had to do. Our new job is covert action, underground. Because being incorporated and running your mouth about what the fuck you are, you're going down. Let me explain how this thing is going on. The buildings fell down in 2001. 6 months later, they arrested Dr. York, Rabboni, Imam Esau. He got several names. They arrested Dr. York. With the arrest of Dr. York, they sealed it. For every last one of us got fucked up in this thing. Now let me explain how this thing went. Dr. York was first Hebrew. You know, he's first Islamic. Then he became Islamic Hebrew. Then he became Nubian. Then he had his own language, Nubian. He had a little bicycle on a little thing. As some kind of writing with a little bicycle on it. Then he became Egyptian in the mid-90s. Then he became Moorish. Then he became Washington Nation. Then he became Chief Blackfoot. Then he became Mason. Then he became Mason. Then he became Christian. It was a Christian organization. In so many words, he cleverly got into every system that black people are in. So then they came and arrested him. They arrested him under the statutes of taking minors across the state line and child molestation and different things like that, that is incorporated in certain cult activity, that is incorporated in certain forms of terrorism. Now, as a result, they didn't have to arrest different members. They arrested some Moors also. But they didn't have to arrest different members of each conscious group. Because he was all these different things, which I thought was a conspiracy too. Under the statutes of Homeland Security and terrorism, every last one, so let's say you were in Al-Saud society, which is an Egyptian society. Because he was Egyptian, now you're part of the terrorist group. If you were part of the Hebrew Israelites that's going to do their thing here tomorrow. Because he was Hebrew, now you were part of terrorism. Because he was Moorish, you were part of terrorism. Because he was Masonic, you were part of the terrorism. Because he was a Christian group, you were part of terrorism. See how it goes? They had to just take one person and arrest him and establish all the laws. So guess what? Every last conscious group now is under the terrorist bill of Homeland Security. So you running around now saying this and that will get you fucked up. You got to go covert action, which means on the other hand, you got to do your stuff solo. And you have to do your stuff quietly. Do your thing, but you can't be running out here with all this shit about I'm this and I'm that. They're arresting Moorish groups. You go on the internet, they're arresting Moorish groups every day now because, they got these niggas running their damn mouth. But this idiotic thing that somehow if we tell the government we Moors, then we'll be free and sovereign. And all this old stupid shit. There is this cracker don't honor no peace treaties. And there's no negotiation with this cracker. You understand what I'm saying? Because he's going to have to wear this ass with me. And we'll go into this shit in a few minutes. Because we got the power to do this shit. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to tell you now is the McCarthyism era reestablished. You're going to be guilty by association. They say, who you are? Tell them, I am that I am. I'm God incarnated. You know what I'm saying? And if you truly mean it, they won't be able to fuck with you. You're going to have to go into the subconscious mind and you're going to have to become that entity. You see what I'm saying? The stuff we've been talking about. You're going to have to manifest that on another level. You can no longer be humans because you are not human. You see what I'm saying? They are humans. You are now the return of a God. Human was a condition, a fallen condition, and an experience, but now you out of that. That's why they're looking to you, and that's why they're trying to lock you down, because you are the new return of the great old ones. You see what I'm saying? So the Homeland Security bill now, the new Black Panther Party is under the terrorist bill. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know what the fuck that was, but a bunch of showing off. You know what I'm saying? But a bunch of damn showing off. So all these groups that's going to declare themselves something. My point here is this here. Okay, you got these people saying, well, I'm going to make myself a sovereign. See, this is the thing about it. How you going to say that you are greater than the white man and then declare yourself within his system and define yourself based on the laws of his system and based on his criteria on what you got to define yourself to be legitimate? I don't line up under none of that shit. You see what I'm saying? So my point here is they roll against Collett. They poisoned Collett in 2001. Remember they tried to poison Farrakhan in 1999. You see what I'm saying? They tried to poison him too, but somehow it would have hurt more black people if he would have died. And he survived it. They started rolling after people. Hell, for blueprint to black power, they killed Amos Wilson in 1995. You see what I'm saying? They rolled on me 3 days after but I had their ass. You see, right on the front porch. Street full of cars. Couldn't even see a nigga. That's what Marie Laveau used to do. They tried to arrest her, and they couldn't even find her damn building. Because we know this shit can happen. One sister, they tried to go cut off her damn electricity, and the man had been in the damn reading the meter for years at the house and couldn't even find the damn meter, and it was right in front of the damn house. You see, we was close, and I saw them come for me. You see, so that's what I'm saying. You got to roll with some other power. You see what I'm saying, on this particular level. So I'm not bragging or whatever type thing, but I am in the particular aspect, because I'm trying to say it's not made in showing off of what we think we're supposed to be, to try to line up on a level to be a nation like they are. They are babies. We are on a whole nother level of stuff. So now the McCarthy era is the guilty by association. Scandalize my name. Now remember now, there's a whole movie out about Scandalize My Name. Whenever they was telling the people they was calling them communists in the 1950s, and the movie stars and the political writers, in the black community, they was calling them communists by being just black conscious. So your civil rights movement would make you see what I'm saying, under un-American activities. Well, it ain't communism now, it's terrorism. All domestic crimes now. You get in an argument with your wife, that's under terrorists now. I got a bunch of people calling from California and said, my son just, they had a dispute and the cops was called. Now the way it is there don't have to be no licks passed. When that cop come off a domestic dispute, the first thing is that somebody got to go to jail. And usually the man has to go to jail. They have to remove that person. Now, rightfully so, because there's been a lot of sisters killed behind them leaving. But somebody got to go to jail. But whenever you go to jail, or when you call under just an argument, let's say motherfucker burnt your toes, and somehow the police get up in the business. If they have to remove me from the house, which they automatically have to do, it automatically goes under the Terrorist Act. Terrorist threats. Certain schoolhouse thing, they got kids in fucking high school and junior high school is being charged with terrorist threats. Just by talking shit on the playground. That's a terrorist threat. You got to understand the maneuver on the Homeland Security. You see what I'm saying? Don't sign nothing. Don't sign up for nothing. You see what I'm saying? Don't sign up for nothing. It's all a trick. They're going to lower the boom on your ass. If you do some stuff, do it solo. Don't do it to no more 2 or 3 people. You see what I'm saying? Don't get in no multi-level marketing. That's a trick. That ain't nothing but a new word for pyramid scheme. And your ass is going down. That multi-level marketing shit ain't nothing but a new word for pyramid scheme. Because y'all niggas want money. Now the Spirit gonna give it to you, but you got to don't fall for the okey-doke with this cracker. Tell you what time it is, man. They're rolling on people. You know what I'm saying? Sister in Charlotte, getting people money back on income tax. She took too long for a couple of niggas because their shit was a little more complicated and they called the people on her. Come to find out it was a government set up in the first place. They waited for 2 years and they was giving people back. If you got $4,000, they give you back $20,000. Some people was getting back $60,000. Some people was getting back $100,000. Meantime, the IRS was giving the money back. Now, white people been getting it all along, but they white folks, and you ain't white. So they was giving the people the money back, all to set them up, and as soon as they got 1 or 2 complaints, because niggas will tell on you and complain, then they came in and they locked her ass down and told her she owed $100 million, 100 niggas South Carolina, sister in Charleston. And I'll say they owe $100 million. See, we set an example. Moors. All in all, the same old sovereignty. She had all that sovereignty Blackfoot shit that the niggas talking about. Her ass is swinging now. And they went all up the East Coast. You see, so you can go in the courtroom with this cracker if you want to. He ain't rolling that way. His job is deception. You understand what I'm saying? See, you got to understand, he's lined up on certain laws. His job, if he does his laws and he is right with it, it universally lines up. He is a deceiver. And he can't go outside of what he's doing. Ultimately, there's got to be some deception down the road. Because that's what he's here for. You know what I'm saying? It's relevant to him in the universe based on that's what the motherfucker's nature is. You know what I'm saying? It's like black man put on an event. He got all this money. And they have a family meeting, a family luncheon, and a dinner. And he goes, and there's a guy passing out the butter. You heard this before. Passing out the butter. And the guy, he said, you're only supposed to get 1 butter. And the guy who's putting on the event come up and say, I want 2 butters. He said, I can't give you 2 butters. He said, you don't understand something. He said, I put on this event. I'm in charge of everything up in here. I put on the event, I made it possible, and all that. And the guy said, you don't understand. I'm in charge of the goddamn butter. You don't understand, I'm in charge of the butter. So it's relevant to the white man, and he don't have to do good by you as long as he's sticking to his game plan, because it's all a part of a cosmic drama. Just like 2 people walking in the forest. One man, they're walking in the line, get behind them. 2 guys. And one guy, when the line, every time they try to go faster, the line is coming faster. And one guy bend down and start putting on his sneakers. The guy said, wait, what are you putting on your sneakers? This is a 4-legged animal, one of the fastest. No matter how fast you run, you're not going to be able to outrun the lion. He said, I don't have to outrun the lion. I only have to outrun you. So the white man shit is relevant to the white man. And you can't damn make no laws with that because it's lined up that damn way. You got to be the God. He's a baby. Now, let's go on. Because that's the way they're going to do it with the Homeland Security. You got to watch what you're doing. But the key here is you're going to be guilty by suspicion. Now, 10 years ago, 1995, you had hail about Comet. You had a damn heat wave in Chicago, killed a whole bunch of people. It snowed in Egypt. It had a big old earthquake that went down in Japan. You had the O.J. Simpson trial that started, and he won that shit. You see what I'm saying? You had the Million Man March. So they say 1995, 2005 gonna be a motherfucker. And that's why they're coming down for martial law. They got a whole shit on the internet, countdown to martial law. We're already in the shit. Because all the laws are gone now. So you have no legal recourse, but it's gonna make you turn to the spirit world. It's going to make you turn to the spirit world. You're going to have to use your juju, because that is the black man's power. You see what I'm saying? It is the black man's power. And you see all that praying to Allah and Jesus, that's some shit the cracker gave you, and that shit is played out. It ain't going to work. You see what I'm saying? You're going to have to go to your deepest, darkest, ugliest shit. And if the shit that you most afraid of, that's the stuff you're going to have to rely on. Because if you're scared of it, then it's got to work. You see, because the light shit will get you shot in the head like a Martin Luther King. You're going to the mountaintop, all right, but we're going to put these bullets up in your head the very next day. Because that's how the cracker deal. Because he's saying, no, you don't understand. I know the Christ motif is yours, but you got the change version. And you don't know the original motifs, which ye are Christ. You are the God. Not some motherfucker up in the sky, some spook nigga. Now, so 2005 is coming. They're calling it spy organizations. That's what Bush said in August. He said, we're going after spy organizations. So they already got all of this up here, up under spy organizations. So in so many words, when they say the Moors are trying to defraud the American government, that's up under a spy organization. And because they got a whole cell on a network linked in. Let me tell you, I was invited to a conference in May this year. My spiritual seer, I got several sisters, one of them called and said, you can't go to this conference in May. I'm like, how did you know about the conference? She didn't know nothing about it. So I called back and got out of it. Sure enough, when I went, so when the people went, I didn't go, but when the other speakers went, it was a rally for Dr. York. So in so many words, they was incorporating. See, it's guilty by suspicion. That's how this thing goes. You see, guilty by suspicion. It's a connection. Why the Black Panther Party marching in the parade in the Republican convention? Black Panther Party marching. It's all a conspiracy. It's all a great conspiracy. You got to understand this. So you got to, so this is what is going on. Now, here's the thing now. They have these traditional healers in Africa. Healing AIDS, because here goes again, it's not AIDS. And as a result, in order for them to get televised over here, the CDC had to say that they didn't heal AIDS, they healed the symptoms or some kind of shit, so that it could get televised over here. Because they had to make a deal with I think the Mohawk School of Medicine. They had to make a deal so they could get it broadcast in America. They had to say that they healed the symptoms, but they still HIV positive. Because that's the stamp given by the Center of Disease Control and the World Health Organization. But they actually cured this thing. But in order to get the information over here, they did it this way. About the whole healing thing and all. But anyway, it's the traditional healing. They're healing this shit. You see, but that's the politics they had to play on how they do things. Now this is interesting because 2002, right before 9/11, they had a shark meeting. Anybody saw this thing where the sharks was meeting in Florida and the people were swimming and they had something like 200 sharks up at that meeting? And right before 9/11, they was up under the water swimming around like they was having a meeting, a gathering. And they wasn't biting people or nothing. Now, that whole month they was biting people's legs off. But they had a meeting. They had another one in October. Sharks just swimming, and it was even more. So last time we brought about the 9/11 thing. This time, it's a part of going into this 2005, which is interesting. Because the government is doing all kinds of things. They also watch out because they're also getting people, they're rolling up the people into prison. So you got 40, 50 years, you can go to Iraq and fight. And some brothers are already over there that made the deal. So you can go to Iraq and fight to get rid of your prison, put it right on the front line. You see what I'm saying? You know, I don't know, that might be a good deal for a nigga got 50 years. I take my chances. I get out and escape on into damn Saudi Arabia, Africa. They never see my ass. So that might be a good deal. Now, the past hurricanes that went down was, here again, it was energies that was coming from us. But on the other hand, it did destroy islands. The Bahamas got messed up, Jamaica, and Haiti got the worst. I'm telling you, it's over 26,000 people died in Haiti. Now that was not based on us. Let me explain what happened. The government saw these storms coming. They could detect these storms coming. So what they decided to do, especially when it came to Haiti, by this being the anniversary of Haiti's revolution, the whole 2004, 1794, 200 years. They decided 1704. No, what is it? What? No, what was it? No, excuse me. It was 1804. It was 1804, I think, the Haitian Revolution, and 2004. So that was still 200-year revolution. So they decided, also they had that uprising with the kick Aristide out, that whole thing earlier in the year. White men say, you know, we never forgive. We never forgive you kicking us in the ass. We forgive, they don't. So they decided, let's fix these niggas, let's get these niggas once and for all payback for 1804, the revolution. So what they did is, within the midst of the regular storm coming off of the coast of Africa, they took the HARP program, which was weather modification, and hit Haiti within the middle of the storm. So they were so clever now, they could go in and cause a storm within a storm, and everybody thought it was the regular storm. They hit Jamaica, they hit Bahamas, did some damage there, but in Haiti, they demolished, they got 24,000 people dead. You see what I'm saying? So my point here is karmically, we don't need to cut no deals with this cracker, no way. You see what I'm saying? We don't need to cut no deals with the cracker. This cracker is in for an ass whooping. Now it's coming. Now I know I've been saying this shit about 10 years, but I'm on it like popcorn. Now I know this thing is coming. I just see it on just a subatomic level. You see what I'm saying? But they hit Haiti within the storm and kills 26,000 people. They telling you the records are low. It's just like the thing in Iraq. Now I had a guy come back from Iraq. He said, I knew something was wrong. Every day they talking about 2 people died. 2 soldiers died, 3 soldiers died. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on now. You got a war going on. Now calm the fuck on now. You got a war going on. Goddamn, we killed more niggas on a Saturday night than that shit. You know what I'm saying? With limited firepower. And you mean to tell me you got a whole damn war of people who've been fighting the damn war for fucking 20 years. Iraq has been at war with some whatnot. And you mean to tell me they can't pick but 2 crackers off a day? And I'm supposed to believe this shit? That's contrived. One brother came back and said every time they tell us it was 2, he said it was about 13. And he said now if they announce 1,000 soldiers, it's something like 5,000. And that shit is escalating each day. See what I'm saying? So they lying. So we right in the middle of some stuff that's going down. Now stick with me. Stick with me and stuff, because they're saying that this thing is no end in sight that's actually coming down. Now, this book, Voodoo Visions, you need to get 2 books. One is very important. It's a deck called the New Orleans Voodoo to rope deck. Now, there's a reason now. I said, well, I often say, well, why didn't they name it the Haitian voodoo to rope deck? You can get the Haitian, you can get the New Orleans voodoo to rope deck. You see it in all stores selling. I'm quite sure the sister can get some at her bookstore. That's a to rope deck that you need to get. The reason why they said the New Orleans, because the white folks who put it together understood that it was important because it had to have the African and America's energy on it, because we are the conscious ones. So now the woman who put out the New Orleans voodoo to rope deck just put out this new book called Voodoo Visions by Sally Ann Glassman, Glassman. And this is a book, we need to tap into some of these particular science on the whole New Orleans voodoo aspect. And it's the reason why they're saying New Orleans voodoo, because they're talking about, these are the same people that said that the Africans in America is the heirs to the earth. So that's real key. That was symbolic that they would put out the New Orleans voodoo to rope deck, which is the rope deck with a book that's very superior book inside. It's a must have, about $40-something. But she also put out this particular book, Voodoo Visions and all, which is interesting here because there's two chief serpents that sit at the top of the tree of life. Anybody familiar with the tree of life? Let's see if they got one in here. That's the Kabbalah, or the tree of life. I don't know if she has one in here, which is the Sephras, which is the tree of life. And according to them, the two twin serpents is Dambalawado and Adawado, which also represents the two DNA strands, but it also represents the Kundalini energy. Represents the Kundalini energy, and this is very key at this particular time. To read more on the two twin serpents, Dambalawado and Adawado, which is Shakma and Bina in the tree of life. These two spears here in the tree of life, which is key because that's talking about your ultimate Kundalini energy and the ultimate sexual power that's inside of you. Let me give you an example about what we're talking about, because we're going to go into how this thing is breaking down on the polarity level. There's a book called Polarity Magic that's out now. Now let me go into this thing right quick, know what's going on. I got a sister that I hooked up with. What happened is in 2000, my mate Ginger woke up and said, she woke up one day and I looked at her and said, you ready to go? It's time for us to leave. She said, yeah. And it was as simple as that. I helped her move out of everything. People was like, oh God, they was grieving for us, and we was calling and saying, man, it's spiritual. It was, her time had expired. So, the Spirit had me to go through 13 energies, 13 different females with 13 different energies, different powers, all of them conscious, different energies. And I didn't go through them in the aspect of you, hey baby, I love you, and hey baby, I love you, and playing two sides to the middle. No, this was a thing that everybody knew what everybody was doing. You see what I'm saying? And everybody, you know, so it was a thing that was up front. You got to be up front. So it went to 13 different energies. No, well, 12. The 13th one was the sister I hooked up with now, which is the one that was supposed to be the one that I was supposed to settle back down with. Which is interesting because she has variations of the other 12 inside of her. So the reason why I know that it was a polarity like that was whenever we started getting busy, every time we get busy, it would lighten and thunder and lightning and rain, violent storms. It wasn't like haphazardly. Oh, that's coincidence. No, every single damn time. So much until the damn roof started leaking. Then when Hurricane Gene came in, the whole motherfucker just caved in the damn seat. But what had happened was these two energies, Dambalawado and Adawado energies had come together, they had polarized. And the right energy will change the fucking atmosphere. Very key. Stick with me tonight, we're going to deal with that. So as a result, Because the two energies had synchronized on a certain level, we was changing the atmosphere and storms and stuff. Now this is happening now. So this is a form of the Ark of the Covenant. In 1968, at the University of Chicago, some people, they took some papyruses, which is the chest of the Ark of the Covenant is not a Hebrew phenomenon. It comes from the chest of Osiris. The Hebrews, being a branch of the Egyptians, just took that part of the information and later on it's the Ark of the Covenant. But the Ark of the Covenant was nothing but the chest of Osiris, and they used to build these things in Kemet. As a matter of fact, they say the ultimate Ark of the Covenant right now is the sarcophagus of King Tut. There's a book called Tutankhamun Prophecies that deal with that and all that, and King Tut. Now, they used to build these chests of Osiris. So they took the dimensions and all the science at the University of Chicago, and they built a chest of Osiris in the University of Chicago in 1968. After building it in 1968, some students did it. It started thundering and lightning. And the United States came in with guns and weapons and made it, the government army made them tear the shit down. Because they built something that harnessed the atmosphere. Well, it's the same thing happened with what happened with me and the sister. We had come together and the shit got to a certain level and it harnessed the stuff, and every time we would do it, we had to stop for a minute because the goddamn roof started leaking and we ain't had enough damn buckets. Now, I say that because if going again, that the power now resides in us, because it started right after the Venus thing that happened. When Venus went across the sun on 666, June the 6th, 2004, 2 and 4 is 6. And this Venus thing happened. So that damn Balawedo, Ada is one of the keys of this, and they talk about that in the Silent Voodoo Visions book, where they put them at the top of the, the top of the spear. Down by the Ada is also the Kundalini energy inside of you. Now this is one interesting thing also too. I want to say this too, because this is very interesting. Put this on the tape and log this in the evidence. There's something called the archetypes of the collective unconsciousness. And what this means is, and this is especially made for black men, that what they did here. They understand that there's archetypes, which mean there's two archetypes, male and female, Rex and Regina. Adam and Eve, Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, Osiris and Isis. These are archetypes that's inherent inside of us, and they're more than just, well, you just got cold, huh? Okay. They're more than just entities outside of you. So the government came and studied this thing, and they found out one thing. That if they could produce a popular music and make sure that you see one-sidedness, where it's mostly male-dominated, which is now the current rap situation. The women are relegated to the background as sex objects. You see what I'm saying? But it's mostly male-dominated. That they can change the archetypes in the minds of black boys. Which means if they only seeing their hero, the hero, or the hero as this male, and never seen the heroine. You see what I'm saying? That they can change the polarities and they can breed a form of homosexuality in the black male. Because of the archetype, the person that they revere the most is always a male form. And because the woman is an object, they can turn them into homosexuals with that, as well as the videos having dual imagery in it, where you watching the video and somebody is jacking somebody, some other male is jacking some other male on, or slobbing on some male's knob. You see, a blowing the skin flute. Behind the image, if you're not seeing it, you're only seeing the image here. That they're proving that with the new DVDs. You can get a DVD with 4 or 5 movies on it. You see. So they can have one image playing and another image plus the imagery of just males until now, you're getting rampant homosexuality or whole down low male syndrome. Whereas the woman is something just to release on, but she's nothing that's supposed to be something as a unison. Whereas all of the archetype of the music before was based on the combination of male and female. In the particular aspect, if it was a male, he was still singing about his female, whether it was having blues or whatever. Now it's sexually oriented, but it's always an object. It's never nothing intimate and on a dual level of the Isis and Osiris polarities of you becoming one with each other. So this is how they can do this with the rap music and stuff like this, of the archetypal collective unconsciousness. And as a result, they say the entire rap industry, as far as those males, 90% of them are gay. All the top ones. You see what I'm saying? It's interesting how this thing goes. I'm just trying to say how they can produce something, especially in the males. You see, especially in the males, and that's just interesting. I just wanted to put that out here, and how, just showing you how they can still produce certain types of scenarios, and you don't understand that there's still an archetype behind it. Okay, this goes to this. And it means, number one, and one other reason why they had to produce that particular aspect of the actual hatred of woman, which leads to the shutdown of the feminine principle, because if you admire a set of balls and a dick, you don't necessarily need the yoni, which is the vagina. And the one reason why they had to do that, because ultimately the Egyptologists knew this all the time, but only 2 women ever mentioned it. Because the white Egyptologists and stuff didn't want to ever mention this. And it was mentioned in the late 70s or early 80s with the woman who wrote the book When God Was a Woman. It was mentioned to her. What's her name? Marilyn Stone. She mentioned it, but the documentation on where she got her research from was later revealed in a new book called Egyptian Mythology by Geraldine Pinch, P-I-N-C-H. And other Egyptologists wouldn't mention this, that one time in ancient Kemet, and also coming from the papyrus, that Osiris was also worshipped as an ancient goddess. That's in the book, Geraldine Pinch's book, Egyptian Mythology. What does this say? It says that deep into the recesses of the human male heart and the heart chakra, which it tells you in a book, that's why you have to turn to the feminine principle, because it tells you in this book called the book Geraldine Pinch's book, Egyptian Mythology by Geraldine Pinch, P-I-N-C-H, talks about Osiris was worshipped as an ancient goddess. In the book called The Triadic Heart of Shiva, very serious book. 2 books. One book I mentioned a couple of times before is called Kundalini of Depths. Kundalini of Depths by Lillian Silber. And it's going to explain these pulsations that's going in your heart when I show you that your one form of the heart takes over another form of the heart. Whereas the cosmic heart comes in and takes over the regular heartbeat, and you become God or immortal through these pulsations. And they go into the pulsation of those hearts in Lillian Silver's book, Kundalini, the Energy of Depths. Very important book. The other book is called The Triadic Heart of Shiva. The Triadic Heart of Shiva. And that Shiva is S-I-V-A. The Triadic Heart of Shiva. And in there they talk about Shiva, which Shiva is a form of Osiris. And it has to deal with the heart chakra. And the males have to deal with the heart chakra, and the males have to deal with the heart chakra. And they talk about this type of thing because inside of the heart chakra, believe it or not, inside of all men, when you tap into your spiritual aspect, resides a goddess inside of your heart. That goddess is none other than Venus, Heru, or a form of Lakshmi. Now, Lakshmi is inside of your heart. Now, I'm going to break this thing down so you can understand how this thing works. Lakshmi and God, look at it. I'm glad I found this picture. You can choke your chicken to that shit right there. Y'all know what choking your chicken is? You can choke your chicken to that. Fortunately, the sister I'm with is on the level of this. So you know. Well, otherwise, I might have to go to the hospital for rupture or something. You can Jackson 5 live on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Jackson live on that. And she's flying over here. Now, the mystery here is this goddess, her consort is Vishnu. Vishnu is the East Indian form of Horus. So they asked Vishnu, you're a powerful person. You come up in here, you kick ass, you destroy cities. We can't even fight you. We're trying to give you something based on how you're going to treat this white man. They say, we can't even beat your behind. This is the East Indian form of Horus. Or Jesus. Now, ain't this something? Now, listen to this now. This is the East Indian form of Horus for you Christians, Jesus. And they asked him, where does this power you get come from? He said, my power comes from Lakshmi. So it's this goddess using him as a physical warrior and the strength that's coming from him. It's the ultimate Shakti power. But he said, my power comes from the sister. And she's inside of the heart. So it's interesting here because this particular goddess is going to line up with your heart chakra. She's the goddess of love. You see Urzuli in the picture of the heart? She's the goddess of love, the goddess of beauty. Well, that's what it is. But it's the form of head root. But that's the power behind this thing. Is she lines up with the heart chakra. Now, Osiris was worshipped as a goddess because the entities of the cult that was worshiping him as a goddess understood ultimately it was actually Aset on the inside of him. Remember, there's brothers and sisters out there who worship. Osiris is their mother and father, brother, and sister. Now let me give you an example of how this stuff works also too, because it also, y'all all right? Yeah. Okay. There's a book you need to get called A Goddess is a Girl's Best Friend by Laurie Sue, Laure, Sue, S-U-E, Brockway, B-R-O-C-K-W-A-Y, Brockway. Laurie Sue Brockway. It's called A Goddess is a Girl's Best Friend. Which means is this book tells you, you say, well, damn, you got all these old ancient things of goddess. How do I line this stuff up in my practical life? Well, this book shows you, and they got the goddess Lakshmi up in there. That's why I'm saying get that particular book. It's A Goddess is a Girl's Best Friend by Laurie Sue Brockway. Sue Brockway. So they said, well, why would they worship Osiris as this goddess? Because Aset is up on the inside of him. You see, brother, sister. Now let me explain this also, because this also has a lot to do with a certain concept that's dealing with melanin. First of all, what I want you to do is I want you to go to your cable directory and look on National Geographic. They got a National Geographic channel. Now, what you want to get is you want to look for their series called Taboo. They got a series called Taboo. Now, you can buy this series in some stores that sell it. It's a whole series, about a 10-tape series. Now, you want to get that series because all the stuff that they tell you that they don't like to say, they drop in that series. One of the series, they talked about Kumbanda, which is the most powerful form of Congo magic. They talked about that in there also, in the series. But you can also tape it off a cable. You just got to look and find out when it comes on. The other thing is this here. This is very important. Was on the series they discovered an ancient Ethiopian god, or goddess, but god in this particular case. And the reason why I say that is because we get a lot of stuff on Ethiopia, but we get it from the Christian line. We don't never get, we say, well, if this was the fathers and mothers and fathers of ancient Kemet, why we don't get anything on that? And they discovered there's a woman down there that's a part of an ancient society called Aretia. And this Aretia, they channel this god called Arseti. Write that down. A-R-S-E-T-I. This is an ancient form of the pre-dynastic god, Arseti. A-R-S-E-T-I. They channel this particular entity. So we're proud to somehow get a link to an ancient pre-dynastic god, Arseti, in an ancient cult called Aretia. And they talk about that in the actual concept of this particular thing with coming off of what they call taboo. Coming off of what is called taboo in the particular aspect of the National Geographic special that comes on. When it comes on, it's a program. It's actually a cable station, and they have those. Look for a taboo. Another thing here is that, yeah.
Most of the programs is that's the goddess that the men, just one time of their year, they dress up as a woman, and it's a female goddess that they go.
Is it in?
I have it on. I think that's the one that I had.
Well, you see, these are, yeah. It might very well be. It might very well be. I want to give this particular thing that America had to be. America had to be because of prophecy, because America would later on be prophesied by the ancient Canaanites and a couple of other cultures that would give birth to the gods. So in so many words, based on what these Jews and what white folks have studied, the birth of the gods have to be us in this particular modern age. That's why I go back and get the movie. Several things happened. 1974, you had Exorcist with Pazuzu. This was the 30-year anniversary. So they gave you the 30-year anniversary movie this year. 1984, you had Ghostbusters, which in there, the woman comes out and supposed to be Zool, which was a woman, and she asked, were they gods? Are you gods? And they said no, and she blasted them down to hell, and it was the black man. If you look in the movie, he was on top. He was the one that was lifting the three white guys back up. And he mentioned, the next time they say, she said, you gods, tell them you gods. Which they was bearing witness that the black man was God. You see what I'm saying? In that Ghostbusters. In that particular Ghostbusters. But he was a black man from America. So that they know that the gods that are to come would be in America, explained in the Kabbalistic system and in the Hermetic system. So the Jews are jealous of that. You see what I'm saying? Which is the fake high priest of the Europeans. You see what I'm saying? The Israelites. You see what I'm saying? They're jealous of that particular thing at this particular time. Now, going right along, there's another book you need to get called Hebrew Goddess. Because some people was raised Seventh-day Adventists. Come to find out that the goddess Sabbath is an actual goddess. In the book, Hebrew Goddess by Raphael Paté. Very a serious book that you need to get is Hebrew Goddess by Raphael Paté. They talk about the goddess Sabbath in there, which is very key. The goddess Astarte. Now, we're talking about the return of Venus. The Venus energy is the goddess Lakshmi in India that I was talking about, and Heru in Egypt. But last year, on May the 15th, when The Matrix came out, I received from California 7 goddesses. which, as you notice, in Jeremiah's works and in other works, there's a book also, there's a book that has to be sought after called Hathor Rising. Still in print, need to get it, very important. I can't think of who wrote it. You don't need nothing but the name. Hathor Rising. You don't need nothing but the name. Go on the internet. But anyway, there's 7 other Hathors, 7 Hathors, which is the 7 holy reaches of the stars, the Pleiades. 7 Hathors are 7 Ishtars. 7 Hathors and 7 Ishtars. So as a result, on the day that the Matrix came out, there was also an eclipse. The Matrix Reloaded. If you notice, those two, when you really thought about it, they had a lot of action. They weren't as good as the first one. That's because the black woman wrote the first one. What's her name? Stewart, the black girl. She wrote the first one, and the second ones they just ad-libbed and stuff, and it just was glorified karate movies compared to the first one. And the second one was a disappointment. The third one was a disappointment. But the day that the movie came out was an eclipse, May 5th. May 15th, which was also supposed to be this Nibiru hit. But what did hit was 7 goddesses, which is called 7 Ishtars, 7 Hathors. And these 7 goddesses, one was called Ishtar, I-S-H-T-A-H, which is a new name because the goddesses have to come with a new name. Ishtar. The other one was Monu, M-O-N-U. The other one was Noku, N-O-K-U. Then Mana, M-A-N-N-A. Then Enmatu, E-N-M-A-T-U. And then T-T-T-E-T-E, or T-I-T-I. I think it's T-E-T-E. Because she said I wanted to be spelled on Ebonics level. T-E-T-E, or Jova, J-O-V-H-A. So Ishtar, Monu, Noku, Mana, Titi, Jova, Enmatu. And these are 7 Ishtars. So we're still going into this Venus thing. And this happened 2003, May 15th. We had the Venus to come in on 666, June 6, 2004. Now, what is this Venus energy? It's ruled by your heart chakra. Now, you might already understand this, and this is what's happening. To give you heads up on some things that's going on. Right now, people who used to get over on you, or people who used to deceive you, and different things, people cannot, when they say when this thing rises, you will not be able to hide your undercurrent thoughts. People with ulterior motives will be revealed. And you'll see some of that's happening right now, the revealing of people of ulterior motives will be revealed. Also, what this means now with you, whatever you do, you have to do it with truth. Which means, it don't mean whether you're right or wrong, because there's no right or wrong. It's just that you can't, let's say if you say, I don't like your ass. That's your prerogative as a God or goddess, but you got to be true. You can't say, I like you when I don't like you. You got to have truth with it. It's not about moralism. It's just that you got to line certain energies up with certain energies. You see what I'm saying? With certain energies. So you can't say one thing and mean another thing. You have to mean what you mean and be truthful with it because you're dealing with the heart chakra. You see what I'm saying? You're dealing with the heart chakra. So you are writing the laws. You understand what I'm saying? So don't say something that you don't want to say. Now, one way, okay, you ready? Go ahead. Let me change that. And one way to do it is this. Whatever you do right now, you need to keep a journal. Get you some notebooks or whatever. And because this is being, number one, a Mayatian energy of truth, because it's ruled by the heart chakra, whenever you write something down, you write it into law. So you need to get anything, just get you a notebook like this, or get you some type of journal, and when you write things down, the movie that you need to see is called Butterfly Effect. The Butterfly Effect. Get that movie, powerful movie. The Butterfly Effect came out in January. And when you write things down, this guy found a journal that his father was writing. When his father used to write down stuff, that was the Osiris. And he started writing down things, and whatever he wrote down, he could go back and rewrite it and change reality. Now, what is happening is this. In order for this power to work for you, you need to get a journal. Whatever you're going to do, you got to have a definite plan. The energy can't decide what's going on by you being indecisive. Right. So, whatever you want to gain, let's say you say, I want this power to work for me. You need to sit down and you need to plan it out precisely on how you want it to work, or what you need to happen, or what you need to work, because sometimes you don't know how it's going to work. Your energy is going to work it out for you. But you still, in order to get this energy to work, because you confuse it, you must have a definite plan. And when you write it down now, based on this energy, this new Venus energy, you are writing this particular science and this particular energy into reality. Now, I want you to get the movie Butterfly Effect and find that this guy took these journals and he could redo the journals and rewrite the journals, and he would change reality. You have to write it down, and when you write things down, you can actually change the reality. So this is the type of stuff we're dealing with, because a pen in writing used to be a feather, and the feather is still Maya, that's a quill. So when you write it down, you change reality, and you have a definite plan. You see what I'm saying? Now, this will help you along by going to that Venus doorway and reciting your plan into the doorway astrally by focusing. You see what I'm saying? Astrally. And reciting your plan into the doorway. But you want to write this thing down, and it's called the butterfly effect. Is what the guy, which is a metamorphosis, because we are metamorphosizing into another, and it's left brain, right brain, metamorphosizing are also down all the way to the two twin serpents and the polarities lining up. And you want to do this and all, and guaranteed at this particular time you're going to find out the power is within. But the power cannot be relied on outside forces when it comes to these particular groups of outside arterial motives to try to do things. So what's happening is this: you cannot, because it's a Mayakian energy, you can't trust other humans and other groups and other people's agenda to achieve your goals. You have to come with inward, because the goddess that's judging you is a goddess that sits on the inside of the heart chakra. You see what I'm saying? Now let me give you an example. The goddess Lakshmi, during the last eclipse, which was what, 2 weeks ago they had an eclipse? Right. 2-3 Thursdays ago? Right. They had an eclipse. She made us get up and go and build her an altar. And it was interesting because the brother that was cleaning out the brother that came, I told him he had to clean out the room. He had a bag with 20-something gold. Remember the gold dollars that came out with 2,000 and people got looked like quarters? Yeah. He had 20 of them in there. And Lakshmi said, put them on an altar and build me an altar. Well, they had a semi-altar, so I worked for 2 days to build her altar. We had a major ritual. And she started sending riches. Now, when it comes, like, when the ceiling fell in, well, no need to get the ceiling fixed because they had to fix the roof, because it's the water from the roof that leaks down and made the sheetrock weak in the first place. So the key was to fix the roof. So we did the altar on that Thursday. We did the ritual Wednesday, Thursday. Halloween came that Sunday, and she sent her brother by. The brother climbed on the roof. Brother came by to get some tapes. You see what I'm saying? To get a tape that I told him, a tape called Psychic Self-Defense that I told him about. So he came by to get this tape, and and he just put on his shoes and got the ladder and went up there and started touring the roof. And he tore the roof. That can be anywhere from $300,000 worth of work, depending on what nigga you get. He did the shit for free. And we was like, oh, Lakshmi sent this Negro to do this. It was all spiritual. And he did it for free. So you can't look a lot of time at monetary. Although it might come monetarily, sometimes it's going to also come based on certain barter and trade, certain things that happen. Like last night, we needed the ceiling insulated. They sent up a brother, I'm on my way over. He came over, didn't have really nothing to, we just shot the breeze. And before you know it, I needed some help to have a nigga come up there. We put some tarp over the roof and put some boards down. We had to insulate it so we could keep the heat in the house because the roof from the ceiling, it was a little cold up there or whatever. So the key, what I'm trying to say here is, the Spirit works through several things. It hooks up certain ways. So it's more like an ecology. But one of the keys now, you might not know it, but when you start writing your shit down and have a definite plan, you can execute it. You see what I'm saying? You can execute it. These are some things that you can also do. Now, dealing with this is a book called DMT Spirit Molecule. Now, the spirit molecule is what is being produced by the pineal gland and produced out of melanin. See, melanin is the precursor to something that is supposed to manifest greater. Obviously, we all got melanin, and we run around with a chicken with our head cut off, so obviously melanin is not enough. That means they say that the black ISIS must be turned into the white ISIS. Now, white folks was thinking this was them because they got a part of the story right, which I need to explain what went on also. Now, the DMT molecule is something that has to be produced. It's called spirit molecule. This is a book called Rick Straussman, medical doctor, MD, the DMT spirit molecule. But here goes again, they're trying to do shortcuts because they are not the people to produce it. But this DMT spirit molecule, and the first part of the first movie, X-Men, where they talk about a mutation, has to occur. And this mutation, it takes thousands of years, but it brings on a whole new strain of reality or a whole new strain of species. In so many words, you mutate back into the God realm. You get it? In here, he's talking about hallucinogenics to do it. But you can take the different mushrooms that don't necessarily guarantee that you can go on a trip, but you can't stay there. The mystery here is, they're trying to do it based on hallucinogenics.